Hey, so what's going on everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video what I want to go over is a Game of Thrones video going on to kind of like a trailer thing that was released maybe about a day ago. And before we do actually get into the video, if you're new around here and you do want to see more Game of Thrones videos or just MCU Arrowverse videos, you can subscribe and leave a like if you did go on to enjoy the video. With all that being said, let's actually get into the video. Before we do actually get in, I have a quick maybe like 1 minute trailer to show you, so I'm just going to really quickly show that right now.
Shall we begin?
We are on a journey
to the future.
So what happens now?
Something extraordinary.
So what's the damage?
We're making something really special.
Revolution begins with an idea.
Don't ever say you can't do something.
It's hard to fathom how we got here.
Checking in. Party of 9, 8 adults, 1 child, 4 nights at the Groupon rate. I'm the one who asked about both the birthday cake and the fire extinguisher.
With more than nothing left and it gets stranger.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
There is only one war that matters.
We'll face it together. Dracarys.
Life is about taking a risk.
Second time's the charm.
It's actually fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
This is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring. I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for. This is what I live for. I never quit, no. This is what I live for.
I want more!
This is what I live for. I never quit, no. This is what I live for.
So after you've seen it, there is maybe a clip, or like a really short scene, and it might be maybe like a second or two long, where Jon hugs Sansa, and I honestly thought this was an old scene, that's why I didn't do a video on it yesterday. I'm going to be covering a lot more Game of Thrones until the season actually ends. Anyway, with that kind of being said, I thought it was an old scene, turns out it was a new scene, and this is going to be more than likely season 8 episode 1, which would make a lot of sense. One of the many reasons is because Jon Snow's beard is actually longer than what it was in season 7, and it obviously makes sense. There was a big time jump, there was a load of stuff like that. Then obviously there was a boat sex, which Jon is going to have to somewhat explain to Sansa and to Bran, even though Bran probably knows about it, even though Bran definitely knows about it. And then obviously it's going to be kind of difficult for Jon to explain why exactly he's helping Daenerys, why exactly he bent the knee to Daenerys, you know, a lot of stuff like that. And obviously Jon and Daenerys and Sansa and everyone but Sam and Bran don't know that Jon is basically the heir to the Iron Throne. Now, I don't expect we will ever get to see him be on the Iron Throne, unless it maybe is like an alternative ending, which I honestly don't think we will actually get. But obviously he's going to have to explain why exactly the dragons are there, why he bent the knee, as I said. And obviously he's had boat sex and everything. The only person who knows about it is Bran, basically. And I feel like Bran is going to have to, considering he's a really awkward character as we saw last season, he's going to have to randomly blurt it out. Let's say randomly he's in the hall with a load of Lords of the North, and Jon is just there explaining what they have to do, and then Jon obviously, or not even Jon, but let's just say that Bran randomly has to bring it up, and it's episode 1 or 2 or 3, and he doesn't know when to actually bring it up, and he doesn't know how to say it to him alone, so he just randomly blurts it out in front of all the Lords. And then obviously they're going to go on to believe him, considering that he ended up doing the whole thing with Littlefinger, where he ended up getting it right, where Littlefinger didn't know exactly how he knew that he helped kill Ned Stark, really. You know, it's a load of stuff like that, a load of small details that are going to have to be brought in and all the stuff like that. But then obviously I do feel that Winterfell will fall, and I do believe that Winterfell will actually, you know, break, and then they're going to have to go south towards King's Landing. Then the whole Cersei business is going to go on, and I do believe Daenerys will become pregnant with Jon's son, or Jon's daughter, or whatever, Jon's kid. And I do believe that will happen, and I believe he's going to have to, well, basically, in the comics there's a massive arc where he doesn't exactly want to have, he doesn't want to raise a bastard, really, so he's going to have to marry whoever it is. So he's going to have to go on to marry Daenerys, even though she is his aunt, and they are technically, it's technically incest, but then it's still as close as a connection with them, what it is Jon and Sansa. So if that ever happened, you know, anything like that could happen. But I don't believe we will see Jon and Sansa ever end up together. And I do believe at one stage we could maybe end up seeing Tyrion and Sansa together, maybe ruling the Westeros kind of from the throne. I don't believe we could see it, but it would be great to be actually able to see it. But then obviously I do feel that Daenerys will get pregnant, Cersei is going to have that whole miscarriage kind of thing going on. I do believe that will happen, and I do believe a lot of stuff will happen later on in the season that we're not aware of right now. But I guess I just want to know what everyone thinks of it down below. What are your thoughts for this whole scene or clip or whatever went on in the trailer? I'm really excited for this to happen. I'm really excited for Game of Thrones to come back. By the way, if they want to enter for the 2020 Emmys Awards or 2019, they're going to have to get Game of Thrones, the last episode, out before May 31st next year. And that would mean that if they want to do it at the latest, is going to be around April when they air the first episode. So that is still relatively early on in the year. And I'm really excited to get Game of Thrones to come back. I do believe we will start seeing more like trailers and teasers. And I do believe we will get a massive trailer maybe around Christmas time or around December time. But I guess it depends whenever they do want to go on to release it. So that's been pretty much it for the whole video. I hope you did go on to enjoy the video at least somewhat. And you did enjoy me speaking about Game of Thrones, as I don't really do them that much anymore. But I guess, subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you did go on to enjoy. Hope you have a great day and everything, and goodbye.